By the early 2000s, the Emirates had a lot of money, but no clue where to put it. Of course, they might invest in Dubai's thriving real estate market. However, the number of buildings and towers that may be built is limited, and Dubai's coast is already peppered with property development. Then, one fine day, the UAE government decided to build communities on the water. Yep, so how did they do it? And is it really sinking? In today's video, we're going to explore the inevitable condition of the islands in Dubai. Before we go into the video, like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. The world is a vast man-made archipelago of small artificial islands in the shape of the world's countries, large enough to be visible from space, situated on the Persian Gulf, off of the coast of Dubai. However, it is now said to be sinking. The World Islands are one of the numerous artificial island projects in Dubai and are made primarily of sand dredged with Dubai's shallow coastal seas. The world's developer is NAKHEEL Properties, and the idea was envisioned by Dubai's ruler, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. The building was completed by Van Oord and Boskalis, two Dutch joint venture specialist companies. The Palm Jumeirah was also built by the same companies. The construction of the 300 islands began in 2003, but was suspended due to the 2007-2008 financial crisis. Despite the fact that 60% of the islands were sold to private contractors in 2008, development on the majority of the islands has yet to begin. Lebanon Island was the only island that has been built commercially as of July 2012, and it was used for private business events and public gatherings. Only 2 of the islands have been developed as of late 2013. Kleindienst Group announced the commencement of the Heart of Europe project in January of 2014. By February of 2014, JK Properties, one of the Kleindienst Group's brands, stated that the project was well underway. In Europe, Sweden and Germany were the first in this chain of islands developed by the Kleindienst Group. The project's islands range in size from 1.4 to 4.2 hectares, 3.5 to 10.4 acres. The islands are built from 321 million cubic meters of sand and 386 million tons of granite, with distances between them averaging 100 meters. The complex, designed by Creative Kingdom Dubai, spans 6 by 9 kilometers and is surrounded by an oval-shaped breakwater island. A total of 232 kilometers of beachfront was built. In 2005, the global development expenses were anticipated to be 13 billion Canadian dollars. The archipelago is made up of 7 groups of islands that represent Europe, Africa, Asia, North America, South America, Antarctica, and Oceania. Each man-made island is named after a country, landmark, or region, such as France, California, Mount Everest, Australia, New Mexico, Upnavik, Buenos Aires, New York, Mexico, St. Petersburg, and India. The world's creators had lofty goals. When they were first built, they were supposed to be full of hotels and luxury mansions for the super rich. The islands of the world, which could only be reached by boat, mega yacht, were auctioned off to the highest bidder. Owners may then claim ownership of Ireland, Britain, or whatever portion of the world they purchase. But the real estate market was not the only issue. A sequence of events afflicted this project, foreshadowing what was to come. John O'Doolan, who had paid approximately £25 million for Ireland, then committed suicide. SAFI QURASHI purchased Britain before being imprisoned for bouncing checks. NAKHEEL must be pulled out of the $25 billion debt by 2009. And now, the business that paid for the rights to ferry visitors to the islands is suing NAKHEEL. The islands are progressively sinking back into the sea, Penguin Marine's Richard Wilmot Smith said. Is the world sinking? However, there have been various efforts to relaunch the project following the crisis. But the market is not the only issue. In 2010, Penguin Nautical, a marine corporation, issued a warning. The world is slipping back into the sea. All the sand removed from the seafloor to support the 300 islands gradually began to return to their original location. The International Space Station warned in February of 2010 that water levels in the Persian Gulf were rising and the islands were disappearing. On the other hand, NAKHEEL disputes Penguin's proof that the islands are sinking. Our periodical monitoring survey over the past 3 years didn't observe any substantial erosion that required sand nourishment, a firm spokeswoman stated. They do not, however, deny that work has ceased, describing it as being in a coma rather than dead. However, if the sinking islands are actually sinking, there may be a rescue. A Dutch business claims to have found a solution. Dutch DOCKLANDS, a company that creates floating islands, wants to assist. They just won a bid to build the floating proverb, which will consist of 89 floating islands that, when viewed from above, will spell out an Arab proverb. NAKHEEL, though, isn't giving in just yet. This is a 10-year project which has slowed down, said Graham Lovett, a spokesperson. This is a project that will be completed. Let's see details on the Palm Islands project. NAKHEEL Properties, a real estate firm owned by the Dubai government, decided to alter the way property is developed. With little available land along Dubai's shoreline, NAKHEEL Properties choose to build huge communities in the sea. Several initiatives were announced by the Dubai government-owned corporation between 2001 and 2006. The first proposal was to construct the Palm Islands, an archipelago of 3 islands dubbed Palm Jumeirah, Palm Jebel Ali, and Palm Daira, the largest of them all. So, just adjacent to the Palm of Jebel Ali, NAKHEEL Properties planned to construct the Dubai waterfront, which would be shaped like a star and a crescent, a fundamental symbol in Islam. And you are aware that these projects were to be developed in the style of actual islands with people living on them? Unsurprisingly, the project was touted as the world's largest man-made project. Worst of all, the global financial crisis. The Palm Islands initiative was going to put nature to the test. NAKHEEL Properties began construction of the 5-kilometer squared Palm Jumeirah in 2001. It added 560 hectares of artificial land and 78.6 kilometers to Dubai's 72-kilometer shoreline. All of the megastructures proposed were anticipated to stretch Dubai's coastline by 1,500 kilometers. Initially, projects were proceeding as expected. Palm Jumeirah's land reclamation was completed in 2006, and the first units were handed out. However, due to the 2008 global financial crisis, Palm Jebel Ali and Palm Daira had to be placed on hold. The Palm Daira project, which was originally supposed to span 46.35 kilometers squared, has been rebranded as just the Daira, with 4 smaller artificial islands holding approximately 5,000 businesses and cafes. At the end of the day, the UAE's $13 billion investment in the world is sinking quickly, making it one of the largest real estate failures in contemporary history. So, what do you think right now about this condition? Despite the fame, has all that money been squandered? Could they have built something better in its place? Let us know your opinions in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.